Hello, this is Pedz, and this is the GRcade Twitchcast Mini. We are going to be talking about Super Mario Brothers. We're going to start with Super Mario Brothers 1, and we may end up going through 1, 2, and 3, depending on how long we take, which we probably will be able to go through them. I'm here with Victor Mildew.
Good evening.
And we may as well start. And how are you doing, though?
I'm doing right. I'm a lot cooler. Which is nice. I understand you have a fan, which I forgot to bring my fan in. I could probably do with it, but apart from that, I'm doing okay. What about you?
No, I'm not too bad. I'm still quite warm myself, which is why I got a fan on, but it's so much cooler than what it was. I thought I was literally going to turn into a puddle of beds. just a puddle on the floor. Because I'm not sure exactly where you are, but like for around you it's like 31, 32 degrees, which is just too hot for me.
Yeah, it was pretty mental. We've got a big old hill behind us, which sort of can make the weather quite changeable. But yeah, it was just like we're just sat in a, I don't know what you can call it, just sat in a bubble of, there was no breeze whatsoever for about 3 days.
Yeah, typical. But I'm surprised to hear you have a hill behind you in Wales.
Yeah, who would have thought?
I know.
Wasn't raining though for a change.
It's raining. So we may as well talk about Super Mario Brothers, the original Super Mario Brothers on the NES, not Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers. Mario Brothers can be a different time. Super Mario Brothers obviously came out in like the 80s. I can't remember the exact year. I could have looked things up, but I'm lazy, so I didn't. I think it was 84, wasn't it?
I'm nodding, pretend, you know, like when you don't know the answer in school. I don't know either.
Yeah, but it came out for the Nintendo entity. Did it go out for the Super Nintendo entity? It came out for the Nintendo entities this time. And I had that for Christmas. I didn't get it obviously in 1984 because I was born in 1984. I didn't start playing games as soon as I come out of the womb. That would be weird. I think it was 1988 or 1989 I got Super Mario Brothers. I got it with Duck Hunt, Super Mario Brothers, and Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, as it was called at the time, because for some reason ninja was a bad word in the UK back then. So it was probably the very first game I actually played properly, and it's basically what got me into games, Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, my first experience, I never had a, my first Nintendo console was the N64, and even then I got that right near the end. I got that when Perfect Dark came out, so that's how late to the party on that I was. But as with most people, I had friends that, I had friends that had Nintendo, I had friends that had like Master Systems and Mega Drives, and my experience of that one was the Duck Hunt, because it was on one cartridge, wasn't it? Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. And they had the was it Zapper it was called? They had the
Zapper.
They wanted to play Duck Hunt far more often. I think it's probably because it was just shooty bangy type thing. So
yeah, it was great fun.
I didn't really get to play it that much, and I didn't have a Mega Drive or anything then, so I wasn't that well versed in platform games or anything. So I was pretty bad at it, but I really remember it being very different, because I think at that point I had my dad's Amstrad, so I was playing things like Dizzy and that was kind of the best games looked for me. So I remember it looking just really different, really sort of special, just because it was way better than what the Amstrad was putting out. Our local chip shop, for some reason, had one of those probably like a bootleg arcade machine that had like 10 NES games on it. You could select.
Yeah, that's
that was
cool.
One of them. It was like 20p or something to play Mario Brothers for 30 seconds.
That's cool. There was an arcade game, Super Mario Brothers Versus. I think you verse each other. I think it's like 2 players and you go against each other. That was an arcade specific game. It's come out on the Switch as an arcade thing. Last year, maybe?
Is that you mean that the classic one that was like with shells? You just have like turtles coming out. That I did from the Mario Maker thing. Is that about that one? Or are you talking about specifically actual Super Mario Brothers, but had like an extra mode in it.
No. It was Super Mario Brothers versus. It was called Super Mario Brothers Versus. It was specific. I believe it was specifically in the arcade, and I think it was like 2-player, not a battle mode, but it was like a 2-player. Like you play the game normally, but it was like versus each other.
I've never heard of it, and I've got YouTube on now to look at that because that sounds really interesting.
There's I think there's like extra levels, and they've changed bits of the original Super Mario Brothers to work it in.
I wonder if it was that then. Could have been. I just remember it being really odd to see games like that in an arcade machine. I'd never seen. It's like when you saw don't know if you ever came across one, where they had like Sonic the Hedgehog, which had like the ROM modified to have a little timer on it. It was like seeing that in an arcade or wherever it was. Just really.
I hadn't seen that. There was obviously Sega Sonic the Hedgehog or Sega Sonic, which was an arcade game, but you had a what do you call it, ball to turn.
Ball, yeah.
Trackball. Yeah.
No. This was actually, it was straight up
the Sonic the Hedgehog, like.
And it just had a timer attached to it. It just meant it would just like kill you off when the timer ran out and you had to put more coins in it. Yeah, I'm watching this. I reckon it was this then, maybe. Yeah, I'm watching it now. It looks kind of. I mean, obviously it looks like Mario, so it will look familiar, but just the way it works, kind of.
Yeah, it's on the Switch. It's a couple of quid, like, but you can play it on the Switch if you just want to remember, play it and see if it was the same game.
Yeah. I don't remember that at all. Funny.
But it's pretty difficult from what I remember. But I think Super Mario Brothers is quite a difficult game anyway. Like I was playing it earlier, as I was saying to you before we started, I played a bit of it just to refresh my memory on the game, so to speak. And it's not exactly easy. You can get to World 8 pretty quickly if you know where the warp points are. You can just go to like World 1, 2, get the warp pipe to World 4, then in World 4, 2, get the warp pipe to fucking 8, 1, and then you've only got 8, 1, 8, 2, 8, 3, 8, 4, and that's it. But the World 8 levels are rather difficult. The good thing about the NES version is the way the piranha plants are programmed. When they come up, the hitbox is really small on them. So, like, if you notice with speedrunners, they'll run and they'll jump over them because you go through them. You go through the tops of them.
Yeah, it looks like how close they get to them. Unless you knew that was how you could deal with them, you would never try that because you would just be like, I'm going to hit it.
Yeah, exactly. But you actually just go through it. The thing is obviously in Super Mario Brothers for the Super Nintendo, when they remade it on Super Mario All-Stars, they fixed the hitboxes so they are bigger. So like I think the tactic there is to jump on the hit the edge of the pipe and jump again. So it's like really quick jump off the pipe so you go over it. But obviously in the NES version you can just jump through it as long as you're in the right height.
Yeah, I've seen it because when I first saw somebody doing it, you'd have to have complete faith that it was going to work. You sort of mentally can't, you'll try a jump and you'll sort of almost watch for the outcome. Oh, I made it, and then carry on. You've almost got to just, when this lands, or when I jump off, I am going to make it, and just carry on.
Yeah. The thing is with Super Mario Brothers is it's a game I've played quite a lot, but I don't finish it that often. I'll play it for a bit and I'll die a few times and I'm like, I think I'm done. It's a really good game, but I do die a lot on it.
I've never finished it.
No, that's fair enough.
I'm just bad at it, and I think it's got. I find the physics. I don't even know if you'd call it physics. Just the way Mario handles is so different to how it is in later games, which is the ones I have far more experience with. But just going back to it, I think unless I sat and said, right, I'm not going to play another game until I get completely used to this and do well on it. That's probably why I drop it quite quickly, because I think, because a while back it's like, I've never completed Mario, I'm going to do it. God, I couldn't get anywhere. I was so bad.
Did you play Super Mario Brothers after, you played it before, but did you play Super Mario Brothers after you played the Super Mario Brothers theme on Mario Maker?
Yeah. That's one of the,
because the physics are so different basically the physics in every skin is based around New Super Mario Brothers, so they're all a lot more samey feeling. But when you go back and play the original games, especially Super Mario Brothers, it plays very differently.
Yeah, it's almost his momentum build-up's quite stiff. I find it's like it's not like Sonic's smooth transition. I find it's quite slow, and then he suddenly like the way he changes almost just winds up really quickly. I just couldn't get used to it. But in the actual order of playing them, I don't think I properly played it, rather than just being at somebody's house and having a quick go here or there, until after I'd played the Mario All-Stars one, which I have far more experience of. So that sort of compounded it, I think.
Yeah. I think the physics and stuff is different in there as well. In Super Mario All Stars, I'm sure it doesn't play exactly the same, because I think they kind of
it definitely
meld
doesn't.
all the physics, so they all kind of feel samey between the three games. Four, because obviously there's Lost World on there, which is
So
the proper Super Mario
that's
Bros.
hard
2.
as nails, isn't it? I'll tell you what, they really in Mario All Stars. If you go and play, I don't know how long it's been since you've played that, but if you go and play it now, God, it's bland. Like the first game. I mean, it does the worst out of all of it. It's such a boring. The theme's just so charmless and boring compared to, I don't know. It really doesn't do it any favors.
Yeah, that seems to be something that people kind of disagree on. Like me, I'm not bothered by it, but some people really like the way it's been kind of redesigned, like the visuals and stuff. And then other people think it's like really bland and boring.
Well, that's
like
funny
yourself.
because, yeah, well, I used to think that was the best version of it, of all of them. You know, if you said to me, which ones would you want to play? Or the Mario All-Stars one, the better, they look better. They look more like Super Mario World, and they look more like, because my first real proper go on Mario was Mario World. I played a lot of that because I used to borrow my friend's Super Nintendo a lot, and because it looked more like that, to me it's like, oh yeah, that's what Mario looks like, because I thought the classic NES one looked really old-fashioned and stuff. It's only since sort of getting more into retro stuff and Mario Maker and things that I really appreciate the look of it. And now I look at Mario All-Stars and think, oh, it's horrible compared to that. When it isn't, I much prefer the old style of it.
It's mad how your opinion can change over something like that, because you think, oh well, this is the best one, you'd stick with it. Like, it's not like people have forced their opinion on you. It's just where you've been playing various things. It's just the way things have happened. Do you think that with Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3 compared to the All Stars versions?
Yeah, I do now. It's only pretty quite recent. Maybe it's just I've become a lot more sort of purist on that's the best version of it, that's the best version of it, and that's the best version of it. Although I'd say I would say the Game Boy Advance version of Mario 2 is the definitive version of that, even though it's got lots and lots of obnoxious voice samples for no reason. I don't know if you've played that at all.
Yes, I have.
That's one of the first games I got on my Game Boy Advance. I got that and F-Zero was the two games with it. And I really enjoyed Mario 2 on that one, but the voice samples just constantly going like, lucky, lucky, lucky. I think it was every time you picked up a heart, and it dished hearts out really frequently. Like if you threw a turnip or whatever it was, and it killed two enemies in one, it would spawn a heart for you. It would really dulled them out. And of course, as soon as that happened, lucky, lucky. Like if you watch a playthrough video of it, it's endless. But yeah, it's a good version of it.
Yeah, it is. Moving on to Super Mario Bros. 2 then, which you said is the one you're most familiar with.
Yeah, I've played. One of my friends had Mario 2, and he was one that he really would just play that, constantly play that. It wasn't like with the Mario Duck Hunt one, where it's just I'll stick the light gun game on. He would put Mario 2 on, and I'd sit and watch him try and get through to the end, because no save backups or anything back then. So I got a lot of, I knew just from watching him play it, I knew that game a lot. And then when I got the Game Boy Advance one, that was the first time I had it, and I played that to death. I've got most of the secrets, with the no screen. You couldn't even see the screen playing that thing, but I really, really enjoyed that one.
To be honest, I think if I was to choose between Super Mario Brothers 2 Japan and Super Mario Brothers 2 US, I would pick Super Mario Brothers 2 US because I just think it's a more fun game, and there's a lot of things in there, enemies and certain mechanics that they've brought back, which, like Super Mario Brothers 2 for the Famicom, to memory didn't really like progress from the first game. And while I know it was originally Doki Doki Panic, I was going to say Doki Doki Literature Club, but it's a completely different game. It just seems to, actually advance the series.
It's one of my favorites. I know a lot of people don't like it because it's so wildly different, but I never knew about Doki Doki Panic or there being an alternate one, so to me it was Mario 2.
Yeah, and I think back in the day, most people thought that as well. Like, I reckon it was only after people found out that there was an issue.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that makes sense then. It's like, well, I don't know. And then when I actually got to see Mario 2 through Super Mario All-Stars, I was really disappointed in it because I was expecting it to be different. Just saying, oh yeah, this isn't the real Mario 2. Wait till you see this one. That's the, it's the one we never got. And then you look at it and go, well, I was crap at Mario anyway, so to play an even harder version of it was no good. And then it didn't really look all that different. It just looked like almost like a level pack to the other one, didn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Anyway,
8 new worlds. There was 8 worlds, and once you finished it, you could get up to D, I think. A, B, C, D, something like that. And
I don't even get that. I don't even think I got past the first few levels. I was so bad at it.
That is a very hard game. I don't care what anyone says. It's kind of like Link's Awakening. Link's Adventure. The reason why most people don't like it is because it's in hard.
Yeah. But I've got a real sort of soft spot for Mario 2. I got good memories of playing that with my friends. A lot of time playing that. It was probably the first real Mario game I saw because I got to see very little of the other game because of Duck Hunt. Yeah, that's the
Duck Hunt's great though, so fair play. Yeah. Except for that stupid dog and his goddamn laughing at me.
I always really liked it in the Game Boy Advance when I played it. It wasn't like I got that and thought, oh god, why did I get this? I really enjoyed that.
So it's really good. I like the fact there's 4 individual characters and they all have their unique ability stats.
Yeah, it's good.
Mario's an all-rounder. Luigi's a high jumper. Toad is faster at running and picking things up, and Peach glides. So they all have their own abilities, which is really cool. I personally think, and there's something that has kind of stuck around because in like Super Mario 3D World, those characters do the same thing as they did in Super Mario Brothers 2.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are in that game that have stuck around to be mainstays of the series now, or at least brought back when it's appropriate.
Yeah, there's even like enemies, like the Shy Guys and things. They're all in the games now. I think Bob-Ombs maybe were the first time they were in the game were in Super Mario Brothers 2.
Oh, I wouldn't know about that.
I'm pretty sure Bob-Ombs were Birdo.
Yeah, Birdo, definitely. He talks in the Game Boy Advance one as well. Something like, I'm gonna mess you up.
That's great. I did play that, and I think I remember on the Game Boy Advance one getting to Wart and dying and just going, I've done it before. Forget it. It's like, I've done it before, I can't be arsed now.
You get like that sometimes, don't you, though? It's like, whereas I'd never actually owned it myself, so I only ever got to play it around my mate's house, and so I didn't get to play that much of it. So to actually have it finally, it's like, and it's a really good upgrade as well. It wasn't like Mario All-Stars style graphics is better than that. It's a bit more charming, I think.
Yeah. It wasn't like I thought when you said Super Mario, I thought you were going to say Super Mario 3D All Stars, where they slightly higher the resolution. That was
just a
bit. Which is your favorite character in Super Mario Brothers 2?
Luigi.
Good man.
Always.
Luigi is by far my favorite character in that game.
Yeah, it's funny. I wonder if that was because that's the one my mates always used to pick. So I was like, oh, that's the best one. But I did try all the other ones. But yeah, there's always something about Luigi. I think it probably helped his jump, made the platform easier, probably.
Yeah. High jump helps, but I'm pretty sure he had worse traction, so he would slip and slide. You weren't careful. I believe I think he did back then have worse traction, same as he does now.
I don't. All I remember is his jumping, but I don't know. I might have to go back and have a look. But
like when they brought out Super Luigi U. Where you played in now, you had Luigi's jump height instead of Mario's because you were Luigi, and I'm sure his traction is worse as well, and I'm sure it's because of Super Mario Bros. 2.
Yeah, I've heard it was really hard. I never got that. I heard it was really hard, that one.
It's difficult, but it's fun. I played through it, finished it, really enjoyed it. Yeah, really enjoyed it.
So what about Mario 3 then? I mean, I'm guessing you had that back on your actual console.
I did have Super Mario Bros. 3, and it's my favorite of the NES Mario games. May even prefer it to World. No, I do prefer it to World. Super Mario Bros. 3 is the pinnacle of 2D Mario.
See, because I never had it, and I don't think I actually knew anyone who had that back then. My friend, I only remember them having 2. The only time I ever actually played it back in the time it was out was when it'd be something like British Home Stores or something like that, where they had a whole upstairs department where they had like, little tellies and things, and they had one. You know, they used to have a telly right up in the ceiling, like a little CRT thing, and a console mounted to it. They had it on up in there, and I had a little go on it. I remember thinking, oh, this is really good. But I played it for all of about one level, and that's all I got to play on that until the Mario All-Stars one, and I didn't really like it on there. I think that's a definite case with the Mario All-Stars where it's spoilt by, well, I think it's kind of spoilt by the change to it. It loses a lot of the charm that the original had. I did get it on Virtual Console eventually though. I've never really enjoyed it that much. No matter how many times I try and play it, I never really, something about it, I never stick with it.
This is just disgusting to hear. I thought you were a respectable person. I now realise you're scum.
This is my plan. You know when you said about doing this Twitchcast, this is why I volunteered for it. I knew I was going to lure you into my trap.
Well, I will be completely honest. To me, it is the best of the 2D Marios. It's got so much variety in the game, like even the levels themselves, the various power-ups. It is top notch.
There's a lot of there's a lot, like you say, the variety is the big thing in that, isn't it? It's from level to level, it could vary pretty wildly of where you are. Being able to sort of carry power-ups between levels to use when you want to. That must have taken some planning for it not to break the levels completely.
Yeah, it's... Well, if you watch a speedrun, you can see how people break the levels, but... I think it works really well because you have the various different... you have the different abilities and stuff, and you've got quite a few. You've got the typical fire flower, your mushroom, your frog suit, your raccoon suit, your Hammer Brothers suit, your Tanuki suit. You know, there's them.
Yeah, the classics now, aren't they?
They are, yeah, and I prefer the raccoon to the cape because I think the cape is too much. Like, if you know how to use the cape, you could just fly through the levels, and it just trivializes the levels. That whereas with the raccoon tail, you can only fly for a certain amount of time, and then you have to land.
I like the way the raccoon one is more fantasy based as well. I like the way it's a bit more out there, and it really changes Mario, whereas the cape really is just like a cape. There's nothing sort of special about it, so to speak.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It's just Super Mario. It's Super Mario as if like they took the super aspect literally. Give him a cape, he can fly.
I mean, like, Mario World is the one I've played far more than any others of the 2D ones. Yeah, the cape thing. When did I play it recently? I was on my my SNES Classic Mini thing. I for the first time I properly completed it rather than skipping or cheating in some way. I'm going to properly do it and do all the levels. And yeah, there's bits when I started to get used to the cape. When you start, because that lets you take them between levels, doesn't it? And when you start some levels with a cape, just the first bit's often allowing you to run up and just go vroom and run and then just fly, and then you can skip entire levels really.
Yeah, like I said, it just trivializes some of the levels. Quite a few actually. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the cape is awful. I'm just saying when you compare it to something where there's actual risk involved,
Yeah, the raccoon thing of just sort of having to really pick a space to take your run up, to build your P meter up, and then to sort of launch at the right point, because once you launch, that's it, you've got to stay on that trajectory, apart from maybe dip a bit and glide along a bit different. But yeah, you really got to pick and look for your clues of where you should be going, things like that.
Yeah. And if you don't, you could fall and die down a hole.
Which I do many times. Or my classic is fly up into something and then fall down a hole.
Yeah, I know what that's like. But I don't know, Super Mario Brothers 3, like, it introduces the whole world thing, like the different levels set out in a grid. It makes it feel, I don't know, more connected than
it's very much
previous
like
games.
Isn't it?
Yeah, and also in 2-player it's really good fun, because if you play through in 2-player, then the two of you help each other. But you can, if you want to, you can go on the other player, select them instead of a level, and then you can battle them in Mario Brothers style, old school Mario Brothers.
I've never done that.
Yeah, and then if you win, it's your go again, but I think you also maybe steal the end of level item or something like that. So, like, say you got 2 stars and they've got a star. Then I think you might steal it, but I'm not quite sure. So
That's really
don't
cool,
quote me on that. But you could beat them just for the sake of it, like.
Like Mario World, you could press like select or L or something, and then you could sort of dole some lives out to the other player.
I wouldn't do that. I'm spiteful.
Yeah, I need them.
Exactly. I'm not very good at games. I need my lives. Keep your own lives, and if you die, it's your own fault. That's just the feel, though.
Yeah, I think with that sort of game, you've really got to be playing with someone of an equal skill, haven't you? I don't think you can really get away with one of you being so bad you can't get anywhere.
I guess it doesn't really matter. The person who can actually get somewhere, and the person who can't just tags along. The right.
No, that's unacceptable. You both must be amazing. Otherwise, what's the
I guess it's not so bad for the person who's bad, but it might be for the person who's good, who's like, I'm doing everything. You're just sitting there watching and dying, and that's it.
Or like, which one was it? The Wii Mario, where you just turn into a bubble and just kind of hang around. It's like that.
Oh, yeah. It's Super Mario Brothers. New Super Mario Brothers Wii. And Wii U.
As a tangent, I got Sackboy Big Adventure in the end. We've been playing that exclusively in 2-player, but I like the way you can pick each other up, so you can just go, like, rather than go around to a big complex platform bit, you can just go, right, I'll pick you up, chuck you up there, beat that guy, get the thing and come down. But likewise, we click R3 and the little helicopter thing comes and gets you. That's much along the same lines of, I just can't do this bit. Click the stick and come across.
It makes it easier, and if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I know it's not Mario, but how are you finding Little Big not Little Big Planet?
It's great.
Sackboy. It is great, isn't it? I told you it was great.
Really enjoying it. God, the Knitted Night Trials. I think it's annoying having the roll on circle and then having to take your thumb off and press jump. I prefer roll on like a trigger button or something. But yeah, good luck doing the Knitted Night Trials in multiplayer.
Yeah, me and the missus have done all bar the last one in multiplayer. One of us dies and the other one just carries on.
Yeah, keep going.
Bye.
Yeah, we've had that quite a bit in the I think we're only up to, I think we just started the third world, or maybe we're at the end of the second. We haven't been playing it that much, but because we're playing it in 2-player, I'll just wait until we're both ready to play it. And yeah, there's definitely been instances, where the game's just throwing something crazy at you happening near the end of the level, and it's just go, just don't come back, you just go, run.
It's like that sometimes. You just have to be like, sorry, you're being left behind. Because if I stop, we're all dead.
That's it. She's like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do it. It's like, you have to. I'm dead. Just go. And there's the big.
Yeah, I get that with the missus as well. Like, oh yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it. And it's like, no, just carry on, and then
just go and do it.
Fine, you either do it or you don't, and it doesn't matter. And there's been times where she's done it and times where she hasn't. And there's been times where I've done it and times where I've died. It doesn't matter. It's just a game, like just a bit of fun.
It's like the acing the level thing. It's like, just don't worry about that. I'll just come, I'll come back and do those some other time. Just
acing the levels. Me and the missus have actually been doing together when we were playing it. But I had to delete it for storage space reasons. But now I can put it back on because I got an external hard drive. But we were actually doing it together, and we were just trying to be as careful as we could. But some levels are such a bitch.
Yeah, it was the classic thing is that I think we aced all the first world levels together, and we're doing quite well on the second one. And then at one point we kept restarting it, and we kept saying, "Oh, start again," and then I'd fuck up and start again, and she'd do it, and then I go like, "Oh, I'll try doing it." Yeah, we just in the end it's just like, do you know what? We'll come back. Let's just enjoy the levels. And I'll come back and do it later.
Yeah, I think that's the way you should best do it. Is like what we did was we played through the game normally to the end, and then we went through the levels and tried to collect everything and ace it. But if we didn't ace it, we would just collect everything and move on to the next level to try and collect everything and ace it. And we would keep on, and then whatever we didn't ace, we'd go back to ace then. Which we haven't aced everything, because like I said, I deleted for storage space, but I really enjoyed that game. I thought it was really good. I as you saw the review I did, and I said on there, like, it's a really good game, and if you like Super Mario 3D World, you will like this. And I think for me personally, I find the isometric view is in Super Mario 3D World is harder to judge than in Little Big Planet, not Little Bit, in Sackboy Adventure. I find it's easier to judge where you are with that, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's slightly different camera, like slightly different height of the angle or something, but I did find it easier.
A lot of Mario 3D World ones, you sort of long jump to think you're going to land on the platform and just sail off miles behind it and things, whereas Sackboy, it's more of a top down with a tilt, isn't it, rather than isometric. Going back to Mario, I'm surprised, and then correct me if I'm wrong, if there is something else, but I'm surprised they've never had like a ace the level feature or something similar to that in Mario. Seems like that would be a thing they could do.
No, I don't think they've ever done that. In Super Mario 3D World, there was getting to the top of the flagpole and finishing the every level with every character. But there's never been that I'm aware of a don't die mode,
Yeah, well, I mind you saying that, that when they introduced the big coins to collect in New Super Mario Brothers, wasn't it those that if you died in the level and started from a checkpoint, you wouldn't have them collected? So to get those, you had to get them on the way through. So maybe that's a kind of.
I think it was any you collected after the checkpoint, you'd have to recollect, but the ones before you keep. But don't quote me on that, because I've got an awful memory.
So the Wii U version of 3D World definitely had the green stars, which you had to get without dying. They changed it for the Switch one, didn't they? Where it kept the green stars that you got if you died, which made it considerably easier to get them. So I suppose that's a kind of ace in the level thing, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Yeah.
That's Mario
if you had to,
fixed.
yeah, Mario sorted. You know, done.
Now for Donkey Kong.
Oh, do you know what I was here for that? I'm gonna fucking come through the mic, not come through the mic. Go through the mic and slap him in the face.
That's the after hours Twitchcast, isn't it? It's like Hollyoaks After Dark. It's like the Twitchcast, but you just sat in a bra.
Yeah, exactly.
Going back to sort of the first 3 Mario games then, so you would say you would rank it, I'm guessing, Mario 3, then Mario Brothers, then Mario 2, is that right?
I don't know, because like 3 would definitely be up the top. One I rate highly because it's the first of the series. It kind of like there had been platforms before, but Super Mario Brothers is kind of like what set fire to the genre, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But Super Mario Brothers 2 has so many interesting ideas that have stuck around that I would probably rate 2 above 1 from a pure gameplay point of view. But influence-wise, I'll probably say Mario Brothers. So I would go 3, 2, 1.
I think the problem with the first game is it's so
hard.
You could just well, I'm terrible at it. I really am crap. But it's so ingrained in gaming. It's just you see remakes of that first level everywhere. I mean, how many times have we all replayed that first level for whatever reason? I mean, it's we've played it so much, I think, that it's hard to look at it as just a thing on its own. I would struggle to find the motivation, I think, to say, oh, let's put Mario Brothers on and play that whole thing.
Yeah.
As if you said,
let's put Little Big Planet on,
yeah,
and you'll play Super Mario Brothers. If you put on Super Mario Maker, you'll probably end up playing the first level of Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, pretty much, isn't it? Speaking of a Mario Maker, all the little things you can do in that, I wish much like NES Remix and stuff like that, I'd love to see Nintendo go back and get a whole full-length Mario 2D game that mixes all the sort of fun and games that you can have in Mario 3.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Mario Maker in. It'd be good. We'll do like a proper start to finish. No making in there, just all those cool ideas. So, like we did in the competition, we had old World 1-1 remix. That kind of thing. Just little well, basically like Sonic Mania, that kind of thing. I reckon it'd be really good.
Yeah, I think it would be. Nintendo won't do it. Unfortunately. It would be really cool if they went back and like kind of remixed some of their older games, like you said, like Sonic Mania.
It's like they've done it on the online gaming service, haven't they? Where they release alternate B versions of games which had competition exclusive modes added in.
Yeah.
I think they did Zelda B. It'd be quite cool to see if they would do anything like that. Just do
there was like
Mario
Zelda, which had the original Zelda, which had more SNES-like visuals, graphics then, and it was like Link's third run, because obviously once you finish the game, there's another run, and then I think there was a third one then that you could only play by the weird downloady thing that they had in Japan.
Is that on the Switch Online thing?
No.
So yeah, cause I've heard of that one. I know that the ROM exists, and I'd like to play that. Might see if I can get it on the Classic or something.
Yeah, it would be cool.
I mean, I've done it not like an All Stars remake, but just like a remix of those early games. Would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, mate. I know what you're saying. Like the NES remix in like they had on the Wii, I think. Brothers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was the Wii or the Wii U, and there was like bits of games in there. It's kind of like what you'd want them to do with a new Mario game. It's kind of like they did Donkey Kong 94. Starts off exactly the same as Donkey Kong. You win you finish it, and then Donkey Kong's like, "Hey, things are going to change from here on out," and then and the gameplay is slightly different, but samey. And I think Donkey Kong 94 is a good example of Nintendo remixing something they've done previously.
Yeah, that's a good one. Do you know I never had that. Never had that. I didn't have that the first time around. I remember. I think might have been Devlin. I think it was Devlin or Sazafa was constantly just like, whenever it came up, it's like, you've got to play this, you've got to play this. So I did buy it for the 3DS Virtual Console, but I never got that far in it. So I need to go back and go on that, because what I played in it was really good.
Yeah. I didn't play it back in the day. I was streaming it like a year or so ago, and I didn't finish the game because I'm awful for finishing games. But I got to like a few levels in, like a few worlds then, and I was really, really enjoying it. It was tricky as well, and it wasn't like I get people love the original Donkey Kong, but it's basically the same 4 levels over and over and over, and this actually mixed that up, and it was great. Commodine says there were 2 download Zelda games off Forza Televu. One was Zelda 1 remake, one was a side story to Link to the Past with a different character. I didn't know that about the different character.
Yeah,
That's
I didn't
cool.
either. Yeah, I have to try and find that ROM. I went down the rabbit hole of reading about alternate versions of games or stuff you probably wouldn't have heard of, and that was when I found out about that one. It was released in like parts. It was like a
it was 8 parts, and you had to play them at a specific time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was literally, you jump on, you've got 3 hours to play it, and then it's gone. That's it, I think. I'm sure that's how it worked, because you had to play it when it was live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and the data was flinging about.
It's crazy.
No pressure.
Yeah. Oh no, I died right at the end. Oh, you're never going to find out what happens at the end now, because it's time to end.
It'd be cool if they brought that sort of stuff to it. I mean, it's like the versus Mario. I mean, I know you said it was on the Switch, but there's got to be different versions of these things, like competition versions and stuff that they could add. I'd just like to see.
I think they added. I think it was Super Mario Advance, Super Mario Brothers 3. They added in that. I'm not sure which advanced one it was. They added like a load more levels. I'm not sure how you access them though. If it was just by playing it, or if it was with e-reader cards or something.
That was barcode. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And I think they added loads of stuff to it, but you had to have that.
Yeah, I read about that too. I didn't. Do you know what? I read that as a Zelda spin-off with Shrek. I was gonna say that'd never work, would it?
Spin-off with Shrek? What? Oh,
that's what Commodinator's talking about.
Sheik, not Shrek.
Shrek.
Can you imagine playing through fucking The Legend of Zelda as Shrek?
Breath of the Wild 2, you just got to find a swamp. There you go. The Wii version has all e-reader levels unlocked. Yeah, I knew I'd heard about it somewhere. I didn't know there's a ROM hack someone had done.
I'm gonna have to play that.
I just like to see. Yeah, but these first 3 games have little aspects that just seem lost to little quirky versions everywhere. And they're quite good historical documents, because like Mario 2, most of its features are in other games now because they were front and center, and it'd be cool to see if there was other little things that the other games had in that never made it because they're just on obscure little download versions or something like that.
I tell you what though, what I thought you were actually going to say yourself there is with the first 3 games, just how much variety there is between 3 of them. Like they're very, very different. I know, like again, 2 was meant to is a different game series originally. Well, a game originally. But between Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3, you've got such a wide variety of gameplay styles.
Yeah, it's incredible, really. And I mean, you compare that to Sonic. My first 3 Sonic games. I love them, but yeah, if you were to sort of look at them and say, well, they really are just expanding on each other. They don't do anything so wildly different. It's that from Sonic 1 to Sonic 2, you don't have the difference from Mario to Mario 2, do you? Not by a long shot.
No. And then 2 to 3. It's surprising how Nintendo back in the day used to, and still do with Mario, to be fair. They kind of innovate throughout the game all the time. Like,
yeah, it's funny with Mario, isn't it? How for their biggest IP, they're so willing to do something so different with it. You'd think that would be so. You'd think out of all their stuff they've got, they'd be like, "You do not touch Mario. We know what works." But yeah, they're so willing to just go right, Galaxy now, right now 3D World, right now he's doing this, now he's doing that.
I wonder if it's because Nintendo and Mario, like, people who buy Nintendo stuff, especially if they've been playing this for as long as we have, say, they know that Mario will change. Like, you go from Mario 1, 2 to 3 to Super to 64. They're all widely varied. So people are probably kind of expect things to change up in Mario. And I think if Mario just kept releasing the same kind of game, I think people would genuinely be unhappy and rather Nintendo be inventive and creative. I think that's one thing people really like from Mario. Because, like, when you look at, like, Zelda and stuff, yeah, they do change up, but they don't really... I don't feel they kind of reinvent itself like Mario tends to do.
Until Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, and to be fair, I prefer the other ones.
Until then, you just basically had a remake of Ocarina of Time every time, didn't you?
It was kind of
so closely.
It's a very specific format I was following. Yeah, like they changed up with the sky, the sea, but it was all quite not samey, but it had a certain kind of beat to it. Where Mario kind of just goes, let's throw shit at the wall. We'll see what all the good stuff is, and then we'll flick off the bad stuff.
Yeah. So people don't like this. I mean, that's probably why we haven't had a new Super Mario Brothers entry in quite a long time. It's because it's just like people have had a few of these now. People are getting a bit bored of it. Let's do something else. It's like amazing, isn't it? Like when you listed the games in order, 1, 2, 3, Super, and then Mario 64. I mean, Jesus, that's a jump, isn't it? From Super to Mario 64.
And then, like, I love Sonic, but when you go 1, 2, 3 and Knuckles to Adventure, the leap, while graphically and obviously is 3D and stuff, it is a big leap in technological sense. In a gameplay sense, it kind of feels like it's a step back.
Yeah, when I got my Dreamcast, I loved Sonic. I skipped like Sonic 3D, like the isometric one, because I could tell that was going to be a bit crap. But
yeah,
when I got my Dreamcast and Sonic Adventure, I wasn't even kidding myself. It's like, this is pretty ropey. At no point did I think, oh, this is amazing, and then you go back and play it later and go, oh, actually, it wasn't that good. I knew when I was playing it then it wasn't that good. It just looked great.
Like, I like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, but I know they're not very good.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like, they're not that good, but I still like them.
And that's it, going back to the Nintendo iterating and then just completely throwing it all out and doing something different. Sonic found the Sonic Adventure format and then just stuck with that for a long time, that kind of style of Sonic. But it wasn't that good. So they just had a pretty poor style of game that they stuck to all that time. Whereas Mario, they just, Sunshine wasn't that great. I mean, it was a good game, but didn't do that much different to what Mario 64 did. But they're always mixing it up. There's always like, let's do a side-scrolling one again, or let's stick in with Donkey Kong and have like little puzzle games and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Mario vs Donkey Kong is very, very similar to Donkey Kong 94, isn't it?
That's that's really good, that one. I played the very first one on the DS anyway.
Yeah, it's a good series. Like Nintendo did go through, speaking of Donkey Kong, they did go through a phase of doing like the bongo games, King of Swing on the DS, and they had different DS, and they were doing various different things with Donkey Kong, but now they seem to have kind of died down there, and it's just back to Country, which I'm not complaining. I think Country's great. Fuck the haters. Do you know what?
They're really tight games, aren't they?
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah.
Hard in a good way, though. I mean, it's a good challenge. I don't think it'd be half as fun if you really could just
Kirby your way through it.
Lunge your way through them. Yeah.
I can't remember what I was going to say now. You know, when you do that, you're about to say something you forgot.
Commodone's saying he quite likes Sonic 3D, and the Sonic campaign and adventure is okay. I did enjoy it. At the time I did enjoy it, but I knew there was some really ropey stuff going on.
Yeah.
The control stick on the Dreamcast didn't help. It felt all loose and it wasn't great.
Sonic campaign is the best in Sonic Adventure, and Sonic and Shadows the best in Sonic Adventure 2, because it's basically a Sonic twice. It's just one's more nice Sonic.
Yeah, different. See, actually, they're saying that. Yeah, there's me saying that Sega didn't really do anything different with it. Yeah, I forgot there's different campaigns. I mean, they're markedly shorter than the Sonic one. They weren't all of equal length, but they were quite different. I mean, you had the fishing one.
Oh no, not Big the Cat.
There's the robot one. There's the robot one. There was the Amy Rose with her hammer. There was Knuckles with his treasure hunt.
Ugh.
What was Tails?
Tails was beating Sonic through his levels.
Okay.
Yeah, if I remember correctly. In Sonic Adventure 2, he was basically in a mech shooting stuff like Robotnik does. Big the Cat is awful. I completely agree. Alone. No, Big the Cat can go fuck himself. It is not for me. Not at all.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, that's the sort of thing. I only tolerated that because it was more of the game I was playing at the time. There's no way I'd put up with that in a game now. I just put it on and go, I'm not playing that. I'll leave that bit.
See, I was going to say something specific about Mario, but I can't remember what it was. How would you rate the Super Mario Brothers games then? Super Mario 1, 2, and 3?
I mean, purely based on the amount I've played it and stuff, 2's my favourite, which is probably heresy, but
no, it's not.
I just going back. I know 3 is the better one. I know it is, but I've come to it so late and played so many other versions that it's hard to go to it and not be missing things from the other games. Whereas 2 is so different. I'd probably enjoy a playthrough of 2 more now. And 1, I don't really like it.
No?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just crap at it, and I'm bearing a grudge because I can't finish it.
That's probably what it is.
I've got to sit and finish. Yeah, I owe it to my Gamer Pass. I need to have it on my Gamer CD that I finished it.
Yeah, I know. Commodane says World 3, 1, 2, lost levels for him. Well, for me. I prefer 3 to World. I just do. I think it's a better game. And it's more enjoyable for me. The only thing, the one thing that I think is missing from 3 that World has over it is Yoshi.
Would you say Yoshi's Island is a Mario game? Because I love that game.
Well, technically speaking, I think I thought it was just called Yoshi's Island.
Mario World 2, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was called Mario World 2 outside of Japan, but from what I've seen, it is in Japan. It's called Super Mario World 2 as well. So it was intended as a Super Mario World 2.
I mean, I love that game. Yeah, that's one of the ones. It's just the art style on it makes it timeless.
It is stunning.
You could release that now, and just say it was like just a new Mario game, and everyone would be going like, "Oh my god, look how good it looks." I love it. I love the change up in the style of gameplay as well.
Yeah, it's a really good game. It's definitely a contender for one of the better Mario games. I say one of the better Mario games if it's like, oh, there's only a few good ones, but you know what I mean. One of the better, one of the top Mario games. Yeah, exactly.
And the new Super Mario Brothers one. Where do you stand on them? Do you like them?
Oh, I liked New Super Mario Brothers when it came out. It was nice to go back to a nice 2D Mario game. Visually, and musically, I find them kind of meh. I just don't find them great.
I got it on the DS, and it was the first. Like you say, it's the first new Mario Brothers in a long time, and I loved it. Got everything in it. Played it to death. Great! And I got new Super Mario Brothers 2. Was that for the 3DS or just the DS?
3DS, I think it was.
3DS. Didn't enjoy that as much. It just did feel like more of the same. And then by the time the Wii one came around, I was just sick of them. I just the novelty's worn off now, and the wah, all that stuff. I've had enough now. And then the Wii U one, I just played to the end and never went back to it.
Well, I enjoyed the Wii and the Wii U one because I played through them with the missus, so that was why I enjoyed it. It was, more fun than playing them solo.
Because they're kind of designed around it, really, weren't they?
Yeah, the one that I enjoyed the most on my own was I say a ROM hack, but it's not a ROM hack. It's because I don't know what you would call it now, but it's basically a fan-made version of new Super Mario Brothers Wii, and it's called Newer Super Mario Brothers.
I've heard of this, isn't it supposed to be really good?
Yes, it's better than New Super Mario Brothers Wii. It's got more interesting music in there. I believe the music is from previous Mario games. It's just the music in there is just better done. The levels are better. It's just generally a lot more enjoyable.
I will have to give that up. I have to track down an disc image of that and play it on an emulator or something. Because
it's definitely worth checking out.
That sounds really good.
It is definitely worth checking out. Also, they introduced the moon in there before Nintendo, I think, instead of the sun.
Oh, that reminds me. You know the Mario 3D World thing at Universal? I think it's Universal Studios. The actual park thing. There's somebody spotted that there's like cacti in there that use the art style of those, and those things only have appeared in that newer Super Mario Brothers. So the official thing, somebody's obviously looked up, who doesn't know that's not an official thing, found pictures.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Somebody had a direct comparison to it.
That's mad. I like it. But yeah, I was gonna say the moon in there is during Super Mario Maker 2 they added the moon. I don't think they've had a moon in the other games that does the same as the sun. Well, in newer Super Mario Brothers, like, oh look, it's a psycho moon because it looks super fucking angry. And I thought, it's just like the sun. I'm jumping along. All of a sudden, these ice balls come flying out of it, freeze me, and I end up falling in the hole and dying. I was like, okay, then it's even worse than the sun.
Yeah, not the sun. The Cumberdanes, World and 3 are a little hard to separate. World edges it for nostalgia. I'd agree with that. I'd have a lot of nostalgia for Mario World. Played it to death, didn't have many SNES games. Yeah, when I started swapping a console over the summer holidays, because I had a Mega Drive and most of my mates had a Super Nintendo. Most of them would have World and Link to the Past and things like that. So I played it to death over.
So they had good games. That's fine. They allowed good games, I suppose. Oh, Pugsley's knocking. I don't know if we can hear him. You know why? Barking at the front door. Pugs! What are you barking about? No one knows. Hugs, do you even know why you're barking?
Is he giving his opinion on Mario?
Yeah, that could be it. He could be shouting at the door, going, Mario's great! Off, 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 off. Dogs are crazy. Anyway, this is a mini, and the minis only last an hour because I still find that funny. This is a miniature episode compared to normal, so it's going to be an hour long. But I thought we'd end it here because it's been an hour, and we want to keep the minis mini instead of going on for 3 hours like normal. Otherwise, it's just a regular podcast. I was going to raid Devlin at this if he was doing his film night, but I don't know if he's on. But anyway, unless you got more to add.
No, that's quite neatly wrapped up, I think. I mean, yeah, it's nice. It's easy to forget. I think it's easy to forget the older games. They're so omnipresent, aren't they? It's easy to forget. You know, they are their own thing, and they're worth going back and trying.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. So yeah, that's going to be it with us. I hope you've enjoyed chatting. Oh, hey Kerr. Sorry you've just tuned in, man. Mario Brothers is a game I always load up on the console emulators to check to see if it's playing right timing-wise, sound-wise, etc. That's a good idea, actually, to check out how it's running.
Mario World is the one I always, if I ever get a Super Nintendo emulator, the very first one I play is always Mario World. For probably largely the same reason. Is this right? Yep.
Yeah. Well, BSNES is meant to be the most accurate SNES emulator, so use that to play your legally owned games.
I'm using whatever the classic uses to run them.
I have no idea.
It's got something a Nintendo built-in emulator, and they run on that.
Yeah, right. That's fair enough. Anyway, that's going to be the end for us. I know that, well, you've got an hour before your poo, but but it's time for us to end, as we want to keep these ones a bit shorter than the traditional ones. Hopefully we will do a longer one soon, talking about some of the news that's come out. Maybe we'll even talk about some new announcements of games that have happened recently. Anyway, goodbye everyone.
Good night, thanks for joining.
Bye. Take care. Have a good one.